Hello and welcome to my sleep clinic today. I am Lisa Lamb and I am an infant sleep consultant. I work with babies from around 4 months up until about 5 years old. So from moving and transitioning from their parents' room into a cot and then from a cot into a bed. I'm also a mum of 3 beautiful girls. I have a 6-year-old, a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. So I also have lots of personal experience when it comes to sleep and how to manage sleep as a family. I hope you really enjoy what I'm going to teach you guys today, and I hope you learn lots from it. Okay, so you've just had your baby and now you're on your way home with your beautiful newborn baby in the car and you're like, oh my God, what do we do with this little one? What do we need to do? So for the first month, I really just encourage getting to know your little one. You know, this is a whole new experience for everybody. So what kind of things can you do? So first one, bonding with your baby. Lots of cuddles, lots of holding, skin on skin will really help build that bond between you and your baby. And get dad involved as well. Get dad to get his top off, get baby to lay on his chest. You know, you could even think about maybe having, when the baby's a little bit bigger, having some skin on skin baths together. It's a real good bonding for baby, mum and dad. Also, establishing a feeding feeding. Even if you're breastfeeding or bottle feeding, it's really important that you really start to learn your baby's cues of when they're feeling hungry and making sure that they are getting the full amount of feeds that they need. Some babies really need to be fed a lot more often than others, and other babies can go a little bit longer, and you just need to work out what your baby needs when it comes to food. Also, communication, smiling at your baby, mimicking what they're doing, having lots of eye contact, talking to your baby, again, is a real important part when you get your baby home. Setting up your baby's circadian rhythm, which is their natural body clock. You want your baby to learn when it's daytime and when it's nighttime. You know, when they first come out, they're all mixed up and they're not sure when it is day and when it's night. So how can we expose them to this? Lots of daylight throughout the day. So when it's day, have the lights on, get them out, go for walks, and then when it's nighttime, making sure that it's nice and dark, making sure feeds are a little bit more quicker and in the dark, so they start to learn what's day and what's night. Okay, so what kind of practical tips can I give you to help you and your newborn to settle? So I do recommend using white noise. I feel white noise is a great tool for your baby in the womb. It's really, really noisy. It is actually like a white noise in the womb. So your baby will really be able to settle well for this. Using a sling is a great way to get your baby to sleep, especially, you know, if they establish any like reflux or colics. It really helps them to stay close to you and upright and helps them to settle. Swaddling your baby is another great tool. Setting up a bedtime or nap time routine, just a 5 little minute of changing the nappy, singing the same song so everything is consistent, and really just making sure that your sleep environment is nice and clean for them, making sure that it's nice and dark and no light coming in during the night time and in the morning time, and being close to them, making sure that you're always following safe sleeping, which you can find all safe sleeping information on the Lullaby Trust. And this will just help you and your baby to settle into a good sleep routine that will benefit you and your little one. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about with your babies in between 3 to 6 months. By now, your baby's circadian rhythm should definitely be into play, and your baby's melatonin, the sleep hormone, they've now got that, which is definitely going to help them sleep more. Really important things, I would say, have a look at your baby's naps. What do they look like? How long can your baby stay awake for? Is your baby staying awake maybe not long enough? Are they staying awake for too long? Really important to start looking at their tire cues. Are they rubbing their eyes? Are they rubbing their ears? Are they like turning away from you, not giving you eye contact anymore? These are real good signs that your baby is now ready to have a sleep. So it's really important to look at their cues, but also to look at how long they're staying awake. And this is really going to help you to establish that good nap time routine for them. Also set up a nap time routine, a 5-minute nap time routine, which can be a little bit of a story, or just change their nappies or sing the same song every day as you take them into their sleep environment. Again, just gives them a good cue that bedtime is coming. Setting up a bedtime routine. So if you haven't already, definitely get onto a bedtime routine. It's such a lovely bonding time for you, for your baby, for dad and the baby, to just have that, you know, 20 to 30 minute time of just settling down before they go off to sleep. Choose a few activities that you can do during the bedtime routine. Keep it simple. A bath is a great cue so your baby knows that bedtime is coming. Pajamas, feed, massage, into bed. Keep it nice and simple. Making sure that bedtime's not too late. Sometimes we can have bedtime a little bit too late. Really look at what time your baby's last nap finishes at. And around this sort of age, you're probably looking at about 2 to 2.5 hour wait time. So really get them into bed nice and early. Sometimes bringing them bedtime early can really help. Also, during the night time, why is your baby waking up? If your baby is waking up lots of time, maybe have a think. What is it that they need? Are they hungry, or do they just need a cuddle? And really just learning when your baby needs a feed and when your baby doesn't need a feed. We always feed in the night time because it's one of the easiest things to help our babies get back to sleep, which is great. We want to get our babies back to sleep as quick as we can, but sometimes it's not what they're always looking for. So just being a little bit more aware of when your baby is maybe calling out for you, just seeing if you can get them to go back to sleep in a different way rather than feeding. Also, when your baby wakes up in the middle of the night time, if they're just shouting and whinging and having a little chat, leave them. Sometimes it's normal for babies to wake up in the middle of the night time and then just put themselves back to sleep, but we need to give them that opportunity for them to do that. If they are crying for you, then you go to them, because if they're crying, then they need something for you. Around this age, from around 3 to 6 months, your babies are roughly on around 3 to 4 naps around this sort of age as well. Okay, hope that was really helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about babies between 6 months to 18 months. So everything that I spoke about between the 3 to 6 months is still going to apply with this age group. Making sure that you've set up the nap time routines, looking at your baby's awake times. They could possibly have changed now. Ideally, at 6 months, they possibly could, between 6 and 9 months, they could be now moving on from 3 naps to 2 naps. So really looking at your baby's awake time and sleep cues, and seeing that they probably can now stay awake a little bit longer, and really working on their naps of how you can get them a little bit longer. You know, when they're younger, it's quite normal for them to have short naps. As they get older, their naps do become a little bit longer. So how can you get the naps a little bit longer if your little one is having a short nap? If your little one wakes up from a nap and it's been pretty short, then you can do 2 things. You can either go in and try and coax your baby back to sleep, or you can try and wait maybe 5-10 minutes to see if your little one will go back to sleep without you going in there. Obviously, if they're up and if they're crying and they're upset, then you go to them and then you can support them and really help them. Then also bedtime. A bedtime routine is really important. Making sure that it's so tight for this age group. You know, toddlers, when they become older, will push back if that bedtime routine is not what they are used to. So really making sure that bedtime is secure really is going to help your little one make transitioning from being awake and going to bedtime really easy, because it's just something that they've also known. Also, sorry, I meant to say for nap times, then it's generally around 15 to 18 months that your baby might now move from 2 naps to 1 nap. So again, just keep an eye out for that. You'll be able to see your little one is able to stay awake a lot longer. And then one of the naps, they might be pushing back and are not happy about going down, and then it's probably time to move them onto 1 nap. Also, during this age, there is lots of learning going on. They're starting to learn to eat, learning to crawl, stand, walk, talk, and sometimes this can happen in the middle of the night time. They wake up in the middle of the night time and they practice all these little skills. It's like they're having a little party in the night time. If they're happy, leave them. They're absolutely fine. Only go into them if they are crying for you, and then you can go in and support them. Okay, so between 6 to 12 months, research says that it is quite normal for babies to wake up for 1 to 2 feeds. So if your little one is waking up for 1 to 2 feeds, again, this is normal baby behavior. However, if they are waking up a lot more than that, then maybe you do need to kind of maybe work out of the reasons why your baby is waking up, and thinking about how you are responding to your baby. And if you are feeding them every time they wake up, or putting the dummy in every time they wake up, then maybe think of another strategy that you could use to help your baby to go back to sleep, rather than always offering them a feed or a dummy or rocking them back to sleep. Also around this age, around 9 months, 18 months, your little one might be suffering with separation anxiety. So you might have a baby who is really happy to go down into their cot, and all of a sudden they're not happy to go down. Absolute, again, normal behavior. Just go back a few steps and support your little one. Go into the room, be there with them, and build that bond again, and help them to feel secure in their sleep environment again. And then once they're feeling secure, then you can get back out by putting them in the cot and then leaving again once they're feeling all secure. So that's lots of information for this age group. There's lots of changes going on during this age group. So I really hope you found that really helpful. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about from around 18 months up until around 3.5 years old. So bang in toddler terrible 2 stage. So by now, if you have got a toddler, they are generally on 1 nap by now, which is generally around anything between going down around 12, half 12, 1, and having roughly anything from an hour and a half to 3 hours if you are that lucky parent that gets their toddler to have 3 hours. I can say none of my children ever had that 3-hour nap that I sometimes hear about. And what you might find is when your 18-month-old has moved on to that 1 nap, there's going to be a bit of overtiredness going on. So bring bedtime early. I think sometimes we're so nervous about bringing bedtime too early because we think they're going to wake up so early in the morning. But generally that's not the case. By reducing the overtiredness, it's really going to help them sleep longer in the morning time. And they generally give this 1 nap up anything, I've seen it, anything from around 2.5 up until around 3.5 years old. If you start seeing that nighttime sleep is starting to be infected, then that's maybe the time to start reducing or getting rid of that 1 nap. Or sometimes what I say is every other day or every 2 days, give that nap in when your little one gets a bit older, and you can really start to see that they are getting really tired. Like, we all know what a tired toddler looks like, and it's not fun. I suppose it's like us all. When we're all tired, we are not fun to be around, and it's the same for our children as well. Making sure, again, I know I just talk about it so much, but that bedtime routine really just needs to be watertight for this age group. You know, you give these little ones an itch, they take a mile. It's really important that it's not too long, making sure that you're not doing too many stories. 2 short stories is definitely enough during a bedtime routine. If you have got a toddler that really struggles from move from one activity to a next, use a alarm or a bell or something so they know that that activity is finished and it's now time to move on to the next one. Using a bedtime chart if there's a bit of behavior issues going on around the bedtime, so they're starting to know what is next and what they need to do, again, will really help your toddler to stay on point. And the reason why we try not to have the bedtime routine for too long, because if you do miss that sleep window for your toddler is now going to get a second wind, and now you've got a toddler that's going to stay up until probably 9, 10 o'clock and literally having a party and going crazy in your living room when you just want to chill out and relax. So really making sure that the bedtime routine is not taking too long and you get your little one in bed on time so they get the sleep that they need. Okay, so now we're going to talk about 3.5-year-olds up to around 5-year-olds. If you are having some sleep issues with this sort of age group, it's really important that you can get this age group on board, get them to take control of what their bedtime routine looks like. Get some bedtime charts for them, and so again they can tick, they can put stickers on all the activities that they need to do. Again, you know, set your alarm. So if they're only having a 10-minute bath, you set the alarm. When it goes off, they need to get out. Play dumb sometimes. Oh, what do we need to do? What do we need to get ready for bed? And really get them to take ownership. If they are waking up or they're not staying in their bed, you can offer them rewards in the morning. I love a grow clock for this age. You know, it's really difficult for our children to know when it's morning time if they can't tell the time. So by getting a grow clock, which is a clock that shows the sun in the morning time, you set it to a certain time and the yellow sun comes up, so your child knows that it's morning time. Again, it's just making them feel that they are old enough and responsible enough to be able to have this. Is really going to help them to stay in their bed, in their sleep environment until it's morning time. One thing that you might start experiencing with this age group is that they might start having nightmares. So it's really important to make sure their sleep environment is safe for them. Ask them, is there anything in the room that's scaring you? How can I help you? Should I leave your door open? Would you like a nightlife? You know you can call mummy and daddy whenever you need us. We're always here for you. And just making sure that they feel secure, letting them know that you always check on them. You check on them before you go to bed. You check them in the middle of the night time. They just need to know that you are there, and if they need you, that they can call for you. So really making sure that they know that this, again, for this age group, it's the bedtime routine that you really need to work on, and really helping them feel secure is what's really going to help them have a good night's sleep. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. I've absolutely loved it, and I hope that you felt that you've learnt lots today. I know it's an absolute minefield when you are thinking about your baby, toddler and child sleep. There's so much information out there, but I think you just got to do what is right for you. All right, guys, take care. Thank you so much. Love you lots. The Night Ninja.
Thank you for watching. There are loads more exclusive videos from Happy Mum, Happy Baby, the virtual meetup for you to enjoy. Just go to happymumhappybaby.com. And a special thank you to Pura, one of our wonderful sponsors, for helping us bring the magic to life. Thanks, guys. See you later.